Obiru takes out the Lich in one shot by piercing its chest, just ripping out its core or heart or whatever the fuck, and then he just crushes it. It just explodes into green flames, and all of its zombies just die too. Obiru over here yelling like he got an N1. The rest of the hunters are just shocked because he killed an A-level threat in one shot. Like, they knew it was gonna be strong. With soldiers like this, Jinwoo can just clear dungeons without entering them, which is really just an infinite money glitch. So he's like, hold up, we gotta form an alliance with him. Regardless of how strong he is, he gotta fulfill the headcount requirement to enter raids. But we can just be like his seat fillers for real. Now his mans is like, bro, wouldn't that be like we're leeching off of? He's like, nah man, it's support, reliable support. But then it cuts back over to the high school and the cops are there, the ambulance, the news reporters, and these parents are just scrambling to see if their children are okay. But the dungeon break did have several casualties, and they say there's no more survivors, so it is what it is. And Jinwoo's just riding with the chairman talking about it, saying 213 students escaped. They were able to save 10, but everybody else died. He hands him his phone to show him some stats about the dungeon activity in Korea over the last 6 months. And the chairman says this tragedy could have been prevented. The number of gates just keeps spiking, but that's not the only thing. More and more people are wanting to find out if they're actually awakened hunters. As more monsters appear from gates, there are more people that can block those gates, as if to maintain some kind of balance. Jinwoo can just sense that something's starting to change. He figures out why the chairman wanted to talk to him. Because Russia, France, Britain, Germany, even people from the Middle East are trying to recruit Jinwoo. And the Hunter Association has no right to stop them from trying. All they can do is protect Jinwoo's information at his request. We know everything depends on your decision, but I fear that our country will not be able to adapt to the incoming changes if you leave us. They arrive at the hospital his sister is at because he was just giving him a ride. As he gets out, he just asks him straight up, "We will provide you with anything within our powers. Will you please stay here in South Korea? We already lost 3 S-rank hunters, 2 to monsters, and 1 left us for America. We have to do everything we can to assure our country's safety. Jinwoo, just tell us, what do you need?" He says, well, if that's the case, all I want is to go in the high-ranking dungeons by myself. "Oh, you mean the headcount rule, right?" He says, yes. "Oh, it's a safety precaution, but you're asking me to remove it, right?" Yes. Now, is that too difficult of a request? He's just thinking like, man, you're really trying to be a one-man army, but hey, it's not impossible. I'll see what I can do. And it cuts over to this celebrity girl getting a phone call. She's Jinho's cousin, so he's trying to recruit her into the guild. Says, if you come with us, you can pretty much do whatever you want. She like, what? Are you asking me to join a guild that hasn't even been created yet? Are you sure somebody's not trying to swindle you? He says, nah, you're gonna be shocked when you find out who it is. It cuts over to the office with Jinwoo saying, oh, so this is the person you were talking about. She's just like, wow, it's really Jinwoo. He like, bro, you're a celebrity too. Stop dick eating. She's actually an A-rank hunter. Jinho's a D-rank and she's his cousin, so he's thinking there might be some kind of connection to awakening through genes. She's already up to speed with them just needing a 3rd member. Says she doesn't mind any hassle because it's better than getting mixed up with Jinho's big brother, another high-ranking hunter with a bad attitude. Then she's like, hold up for a second. Can I get a pic for the gram? But then it cuts over to the chairman arguing with government officials, saying that he's being biased and showing preferential treatment to Jinwoo by trying to pass this request for it. Everybody else has to fit the head count. Why shouldn't he? He just keeps it a buck like, yes, it is preferential treatment. But let me ask all you guys a question here today. If you had a choice between going on a raid with 20 A-rank hunters or Sung Jinwoo, which one are you going with? And hey, didn't you move to a house that's closer to the Hunter Association? I wonder why that is. And he tries to play it off, but bro, you want the best for your own safety. Is that not true? The citizens of Korea feel the exact same way. And plenty of other countries are dead set on trying to steal Jinwoo for their own safety. So do you really expect him to remain here if you can't fulfill one of his requests? You want him to abandon us like the Hwang Dong-soo situation? Come on, if you believe this request is unreasonable, just remember when there's another S-rank gate in Korea, remember who would save whose life in that situation. Now, they recruited Jinho's cousin to be the 3rd member of their guild, and the first thing she does is take a flick for Instagram. And she was already a celebrity on her own, so this shit got 200,000 likes. But the person reacting to the post is Sha Hae-in, and she starts shaking, and it makes it seem like she started throwing shit around. But the next day, they right back to work, getting ready to head in a dungeon. And now the press is everywhere because this is the first official raid of Jinwoo's guild. But they just spamming him with a bunch of questions. Why'd you name it that? What's your relationship to the newest member? Yada yada yada. So Jinwoo's talking to him like, bro, I thought y'all was protecting my information. And he says, we do, but we can't do shit about the location of the gate. You're like, yeah, you probably right, and the Instagram post definitely didn't help. Now Woo Jin's just making sure everything's straight before they go in. He's seeing that all of his summonings are a B rank or higher, so he clearly has enough power to go in the dungeon. However, as he takes off his jacket, the chairman told me to find out if it really is safe during during your raids. Bro pulled up suited and booted and he about to go with him. I guess he can't hate on the flashy armor this time. And he's like, bro, are you sure about this? And he's like, yeah, why not? But then it shows a little later and he's just in shock, just watching his troops run through this A-rank dungeon. And really he just wanted to tag along because he's already seen what he can do. Like he was there when he took out Tusk. So now he's just getting a front row seat to the action. But he's low-key terrified because the enemy is losing because the Shadow Army is constantly regenerating. But then he points out Igris especially, saying that he's just different. And we see he's still using the Demon King's blade, just shooting lightning around with every single swing and dicing them up as he goes, like Igris is showing out. And Wu Jin is just watching like, damn, he's already surpassed an A-rank, so would I win if I fought him one-on-one? And no, Wu Jin, no you would not. Then it shows one of the ants about to eat something, so Jin Woo kicks the shit out of it like, hey, you know how much that shit is worth? And he orders everybody else not to slack off with the mining. But he's like, bro, he's taking out the monsters, he's mining the crystals, he's doing everything by himself. Now I know why the chairman wanted me to come see this shit. And now they're just faced with the final boss, and he just cancels the majority of his summonings. And he like, why you do that? You could literally take the boss out with them. And he like, come on, if I did that, then my skills would get rusty. But I don't really know how this is keeping him sharp, because all it takes is one blitz and one powerful slash to the cranium, and that was it. Like, there's no way that kept up your edge. And again, just in awe, he one-shotted the boss. And now he reached level 101, and all of his shadow abilities upgrade as well. Now it takes less time for his teleportation to recover, which is perfect because he can always be a snap away from helping out his mom and sister. Now he's just looking like, bro, he took out this fucking boss with 2 little ass daggers, but of course he's not finished yet. Arise. And after it becomes a shadow, it like shrinks in size, but its magical energy is massive, so either way it's a good addition to the army. And he names it Jima. And the dungeon starts to crumble because they took out the boss, so they all get ready to leave. But then all the reporters outside look shook as Tusk comes out carrying one of the big ass corpses. They all start flicking him up and he starts smiling for the cameras like, bro, I love that they're like animated, bro, that they have personalities. Jin Ho and Jin Woo are just bantering back and forth as it zooms more and more on Wu Jin, who's just mentally exhausted. It cuts to him breaking the whole thing down to the chairman. He's like, I know you've seen plenty of raids before, but after hearing what you said, I understand why you're surprised. He's like, nah, bruh, that shit was not no raid. I just watched a one-sided massacre. You don't understand. All right, bro, all right, I got you. Go home and get some rest. And he just dips off. Now he by himself like, damn, he's clearing the dungeons, retrieving the corpses, and getting all the crystals too? He ain't no one-man raid team. This nigga is a one-man guild. Like, my eyes did not betray me when I seen him. The top hunters in the world list about to get flipped upside down. But then it cuts over to Japan and the sky is turning red. And everybody's just looking like, what the fuck? It's just a gate so big that it doesn't even fit in the panel. And this is in the center of Tokyo, Japan. Well, their best S-rank hunters start gathering together what's left of Ryuji's team. These guys are watching them walk by, talking about them like they're washed. Their strongest member is dead, and they lost like 6 S-rank hunters. Well shit, we could become the greatest guild in the future. But they overhear them talking like, bro, the fuck y'all said? And they try to walk away acting like they didn't say shit. The government officials called them to see what they're gonna do about this big ass gate. It turns out they already have a plan, someone in mind they want to recruit. Barrier expert Yuri Orlov. They're gonna hire him for some money. Now Jin Woo's just driving and glazing himself like, damn, I'm really level 101. At 100, they gave me the key to the double dungeon, and this time they just boosted all my shadow skills. So I can't wait to see what happens at 102. He's just pulling up back to his office as he notices something out the corner of his eye, and it's Sha Hei-yin who sees him too, but she tried to act like she didn't and walk away hella fast. So he like, hold up, why are you running? If you were just gonna run, then why come to my office? But like always, she's just fumbling over her words. She came to get her car that's in the garage because he teleported her the last time. But then she says, can you make some time for me? And really all she's thinking about asking him is about the 3rd member they recruited and what exactly they are to each other. Like, you said I wasn't qualified enough, but you let her join, and I'm an S-rank hunter. She's only an A. By any chance, are you 2 dating? But she just pushes all those thoughts to the side and says that Min Byung wanted her to deliver a message to Jin Woo about his power. He's like, hold up, let's go somewhere private, and just takes her into the office. Now everybody's gone, so she's like, oh shit, it's just me and Jin Woo. He's straight to the point, like, how did it happen? How did he leave a message for me? She says back on the day of the raid, she heard a voice talking to her while she was on the brink of death, and it was him saying to tell Jin Woo to be careful with his own power. Someone pulled me up out of the endless darkness. However, the revived person was not me. It possessed my will and consciousness, but it felt like I had become an unquestioning, unconditional slave only existing to serve him. The real reason I'm so scared is because I felt happy and wanted to serve him. So she's like, what the fuck does that mean? He says his powers are too strong and incredibly scary. He needs to know this well. And his true army is, then it just cuts to him eating a sandwich on a raid the next day while his troops do their thing. He's thinking like, yeah, I do need to find the source of my power, but more important than that, I gotta get stronger. Jinho asks why he doesn't just let the summonings do everything. He loses experience the farther he is from them, and then he can't be sure what these dumbass niggas are gonna do when he's not paying attention. He's like, oh damn, well anyway, how's your sister? She's still just in the hospital relaxing, and I left my most trustworthy guard right by her side. And matter of fact, now that you mention it, let me check on him real quick, cause now he can look through his shadows. When he goes to check on his sister, shows this Heian era program on TV where this nigga talking about my king this and my king that. Of course, Biru's the one holding the remote and watching this shit. Jin-Ah just sleeps soundly on the couch. Bro's really into the TV. He's like, yo, I knew he was talking funny. Does he like shows like this? Then he checks another shadow and he sees his mom at the store. Checks another one and he sees Choi Jong-in beefing with this nigga again. Then he checks one more and he sees a shower head. It's Sha Hae-in taking a bath. He jumps cause he didn't expect to see that shit. And he's thinking he got to apologize to her later. Then Jinho asks if he heard about Japan. This massive ass gate, and there's only 3 days left until the dungeon breaks. All the monsters inside can come to this world. They're trying to gather hunters from everywhere, so they didn't call you? He says they did, but he has a more pressing matter to tend to. He's trying to figure out what he's gonna do, as he still got the key to go back to the double dungeon, where it all started. 27 hours have to pass until the location of the gate is revealed. That's all he's really worried about because he's finally gonna get answers about the system. He's like, bro, what are you? Isn't it okay to just tell me now? Ah, whatever, it's only a day wait, so let's just get back to work. It cuts to Yuri Orlov, the S-rank barrier hunter that Japan is trying to get for help. He's just over here drinking, saying it was good that y'all evacuated the citizens. But y'all really only got 6 S-rank hunters to work with? He says yes, then explains their plan for trying to take out all the gates. He's like, nah bro, that shit is pathetic. How can you protect your country like that? Just pay me 10 million a day, and I'll hold that gate back as long as you want. And he's like, what the fuck, 10 million? He's dead ass. Yes, 3.6 billion a year, and your country will be saved. Hey, it's not like I'm asking for 36 trillion. Y'all know Thomas would have charged you more. These two in the back can't understand him because they don't speak Russian. You can just feel the energy of the conversation. He's like, come on, what you gonna do? Become a national hero for $10 million a day or give up on your country to save a bit of cash? And he just busts out laughing. You really think you can afford to be picking and choosing right now? You should be down on your hands and knees licking my boots. So he's like, oh, you seem pretty confident in your abilities. Of course I am. It would be more beneficial to hire me than 1,000 of those losers standing behind you. Again, they can't understand, but they can tell that he's insulting them. But then he starts using his abilities on them and says, you can't move an inch without my permission. But go ahead, give it your best shot. But they're really shook because they can't move, and they're S-rank hunters, so he's just no-diffing these S-rank hunters. He's like, come on, I'll block that gate off for you, and I'll save your buddies' lives. How does that sound? He says, I'm not sure if our government will approve of this shit. Hold up, man, let me make a call. We gotta make some shit happen. Now, Jinwoo's about to leave out, and his mom is just looking at him like, bro, I don't have to be worried about you, do I? Of course not, come on, I just got an appointment to go to. I'll be back, mom, don't worry. He's literally pulling out the key to go back to the double dungeon. And the timer has expired, so now the system is gonna tell him where the gate is. It's right back at the fucking high school. She's like, hey, this area is off limits. But come on, bro, how many times are we gonna go through this? He asks her when the gate appeared, and she says it's been here for 3 days already. He's like, fuck, I got played. The system said it wouldn't tell me the location, but that doesn't mean the gate wasn't already here. He asks if anybody went inside already, and she says, yeah, about 2 hours ago. He tells her to call this whole shit off and that the raid team is in danger. If we don't stop this shit, everyone's gonna die. He just walks in after them. She wants an explanation, but he doesn't have the time. It cuts to the raid team inside, and they've made it to the second entrance. Jinwoo pulls up fast as shit saying it's a trap. He scared the shit out all of them. Who the fuck are you? And he says someone who survived the double dungeon. Like, double dungeon? Wait a minute. Hold up, is that Jinwoo? Eventually everybody does recognize him, so he tells them that terrible dangers are beyond these doors, so I'm gonna take it from here. He walks up to the door, but it's locked, and that's what he has the key for, like it's a bit different from the last time. They're confused because the door was locked a second ago, so how did he open it? Then buddy interrupts and says, "Hey, we got the entry pass for this guild. You have no right to tell us to leave." He's thinking, well, technically he's right. So alright, anybody that wishes to go in, feel free. He says, "Bet, don't mind if I do." As soon as he takes one step in, the system says entry is not permitted. One of the giant statues about to hack him to pieces. But Jinwoo grabs him by the collar and snatches him back, pulling him out the doorway. And the statue doesn't keep coming, it just looks at them. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more of that in there. You still wanna go inside? Listen up, everybody. Get the fuck out of here. Go tell the Hunter Association a double dungeon has appeared. As he walks inside, the system says the one who holds the key has entered the temple. Then it slams closed behind him. Now, just like before, the blue torches start lighting up and the room is filled with statues. There's still this one here holding the stone tablet. So here we are again, right where it all began. I'm finally back, but things are different now. And I can feel it in my bones that none of these statues are monsters or living beings at all. They're just puppets as he walks further in. There's only one being in this room that's radiating mana. You're the one who's in control. He finally stops walking, saying, "Come on now, are you gonna keep your mouth shut? Isn't it about time you give me an answer?" He's not talking to the big statue, but the one that's holding the tablet. It says, "Ah, you finally made it this far." This is an iconic smile here, I'm not gonna lie. Then it cuts to the chairman talking to Woo Jin about how Jinwoo's guild is starting problems by taking up a lot of the dungeon, so there's less for everybody else. He's just laughing like, a small guild with one person who can be called a hunter is fighting with larger guilds. It's just funny as shit. Then Woo Jin gets a call. He takes it because the chairman got another meeting to go to anyway. This is when he hears that a gate opened up right back at the same school. It's a double dungeon that Jinwoo just went inside.